Hi there! Today we're going to this is a tutorial. I'm going to show you how to look expensive with makeup. I just decided to call it that. I'm basically going to show you a very subtle but elegant somehow look that I feel like personally you can wear for date night or whenever you want to look elevated. Also, it's Valentine's Day today, and this will also count as get ready with me for a date, hopefully. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to start by priming. I'm going to use this Erborian Pink Perfect Cream. It basically just blurs out the texture a little bit, and it really enhances the shine on the skin. It gives that beautiful glow. I'm going to go for a dewy finish today because that's what I prefer, and I feel like especially for this look we want to look healthy, hydrated, somehow like we're taking care of our skin and body. We want to look like we're eating very healthy foods. That's why I prefer glowier finish of the skin. But of course, depending on your skin type, you can use a more matte foundation if you tend to be more oily. Thing is, I don't want to overdo things. Like, I don't want a very full coverage foundation, I don't want to look cakey. We want to look as natural but pulled together as we possibly can. And I forgot to do my brows. I do set my brows in place before applying my foundation because I use this got to be glued gel, and this can really ruin the foundation if you apply it on top. I basically just apply it first and then I clean up the edges of the brows, because again, nothing will stay on top of this product. I mean face products, like foundation and stuff like that. I think I applied a little bit too much. Whatever, I'm just going to brush it in my brows like this, so they're really coated into the product. Just going to wait a second because at first it's like really liquidy, and then we just want to brush them up. At least I want to brush them up. The thing is, my brows grow downwards, and like this part grows downwards, this part grows upwards. They just look very messy, and again, I want to look very put together, and I want my brows to really stay in place and look clean somehow. That's why I go for this look. Especially for my thick brows, this gel is a holy grail. I have to give this gel Product of the Year award. Literally, I don't think that I will discover anything that I will love more than this product. Yesterday I wore the brow frizz again because I own it and I wanted to give it another try. But dude, it has nothing to do with this. This is way better than the brow frizz. I'm going to do a light filling in using the brow powder by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm going to lightly fill in, mainly just the tail. I love using a brow powder because I feel like it's more subtle than pomade or brow pens. Even though pens can work great as well with this technique, if you have a good one, because I tried a Catrice one. That just didn't go well, I don't like it. I'm just doing mainly stamping motions because I don't want to move the brow hairs. Just going to do little hair strokes here. They're almost invisible, but I don't want to extend my brow in the front a little bit. Again, I wanted to go for a dewy finish, so the foundation that I'm going to use today is going to be dewy. It's the Makeup Forever Reboot foundation. Really love this thing. Light coverage, dewy finish. It makes you look like you had enough sleep. But again, it doesn't have much coverage. But that's why I like it. I do prefer a lighter coverage foundation. I'm just going to use a sponge to blend this in. I do feel like the finish of the sponge is the best, at least for me. Again, it makes my skin look more hydrated, and I don't know, I just like how it kind of melts the product into my skin, and just looks very natural. I have tried makeup brushes. I just go back to the sponge every time. Just blending it down my neck a little bit. I'm going to use a little bit of concealer around my eyes. This is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser. Really love this thing. And I'm just going to apply it around my eye area. By the way, if you have spots or stuff that you want to cover up, I would personally apply, again, light to medium coverage foundation, and I would use a concealer just in the spots that you want to cover. I'm going to use the same sponge and blend this in. Just gotta take your time and really blend everything really well. Again, this area has been a trouble spot for me because I have deep set eyes, and oftentimes I forgot to blend this particular area, like blend the concealer into the foundation. And we just gotta make sure that everything is just seamless, you know, for this look especially. Next, I will set my under eyes, and I want to make sure that it doesn't move throughout the day. Once it's set, a concealer that's creased, it's pretty impossible to touch up. So I want to make sure that it's really well set from the beginning. By the way, I made a video comparing baking with regular setting of the concealer, and I came to the conclusion that just baking works a little bit better for me in the long term. Like if I'm wearing the makeup more than, I don't know, 6-8 hours. So and today I think I will be wearing this makeup for a lot of hours. So I will set with the sponge basically. I won't leave the powder on my face for too long. So I'm just going to coat my sponge into the powder like that, and making sure there are no creases before setting. And I will stamp the powder on my under eye, and also bring it down a little bit so it's I set my pores area, because I don't want that area to be shiny, otherwise the pores are going to be more visible. And I think that's all the setting that I'm going to do. If you have oily skin, again, you can set more. You can set your entire face, you can set your entire T-zone, but I do prefer a dewier finish. So I'm just going to leave my face like this. Maybe, because I see a lot of shine here, I'm just going to take a little bit of powder and just touch this area here. I'm not going to contour today, I'm just going to bronze up my skin. I'm going to use this Dior Nude bronzer. Since I did not set my face, I will be careful to tap this product in, and that way I can avoid patchiness, so it won't cling to the hydration basically from the foundation. I'm going to bronze up underneath my nose. Again, we don't want to overdo things. Make sure that your bronzer or contour is not way too dark and very noticeable. I do like this one because it's the shade is 02, by the way. I think it's discontinued, but whatever. It's not too dark. It's the second lightest shade, and yeah, it really just brings up some warmth to my face without looking like too much. And I really love it for that. I'm just going to be careful to blend it into my hairline so I won't see a difference there. And I will apply a little bit on my jawline as well, bringing it down my neck. And a little bit around my mouth. Okay, blush. I'm going to use, again, a pretty natural one. You don't want very harsh rosy cheeks, obviously. I'm going to use this one from the Sigma Blush Cheek Palette. They also have it as an individual. Whatever, it's just a natural colored blush. It's the most natural one I own. It's not pink, it's not peachy. You can see it's very natural. I'm using a Sigma F10 brush. I'm dusting off the excess from the brush so I don't apply too much. I would rather build it up than apply too much in the beginning. But if you did apply too much, you can take your powder brush, I use this one today, and just go over it a little bit, and it will fade a little bit of that rosiness. And I do apply it a little bit above the bronzer, that way it lifts up my cheekbones. Next comes highlighter, and it's the same thing with highlighter. You don't want something very shiny, very glittery. You just want a little bit of enhancing the glow, let's say. So I'm going to use my e.l.f. baked highlighter in the shade Moonlight Pearls. This looks so beautiful on the skin. I'm just going to stamp this on my cheekbone. It gives that natural glow. It looks like you're glowing from within and not like you have some shiny product on your cheeks. That's why I love it. It's my favorite highlighter. Going to apply it a little bit in the center of my face. I'm going to take a smaller brush and apply the highlighter on the inner corner of my eye to add a little bit of shine there, and also underneath the arch of my brow. I'm going to go in with a little bit of eyeshadow primer on my lids. Again, this for me lasts way better than just using concealer. I will link a video up here. I just did a lot of tests recently, wear tests and stuff like that. I'm just going to press it in with my fingers. Since I do already have concealer on my lids, I have to be really careful not to move that around too much. That's why I'm tapping instead of just wiping. And I have to let this sit for at least a minute or two before going into the eyeshadow. Otherwise, again, it's going to cling onto the eyeshadow primer since this is not dry yet, and you're not going to be able to blend it. For the eyeshadow part, again, I will not do anything crazy. I just want to enhance my eye a little bit without looking like too much, and I'm not going to apply glitters or shimmers, although these are beautiful. Like, I usually wear glitters and shimmers, but I feel like an all matte look looks a little bit more, it just looks a little bit classier somehow and more expensive looking. So I'm just going to pick my Naked Heat palette by Urban Decay. I will take the shade Sauced. I do want a little bit of a transition, so I will pick a shade that's slightly darker than my skin tone. I will make sure to dust off the excess from the brush. I don't want to ruin my base makeup. So I will just take this all over my lid and crease area. Again, you can see this is a very light shade of brown. It's a little bit darker than my skin tone, kind of looks like my bronzer, and you can use your bronzer shade, by the way. Since it's a very light color, I can just play with it without being afraid that I will ruin anything, because you can just blend it and yeah, it won't look like too much. And I actually am going to take a little bit more of that and apply it on my lower lash line. So this is kind of like a little base for our eyeshadow. Make sure to angle it upwards so it won't drag my eye down. I just want to lift it up a little bit. I'm going to do a liner look that's there but not quite. So let me just explain to you a little bit better. I'm going to pick up an eyeshadow. I'm not sure which one. I think Ashes, like the darkest matte of the palette. I'm going to pick it on a small detail brush, tap out the excess, and we're going to do a very diffused liner. So we want something to extend the eye a little bit, but again, not looking very obvious or like too much. I'm going to follow the lower lash line and just extend it somehow. And then I'm going to take a pencil brush and really diffuse this, because we want it to be very well blended. If you want to make things a little bit easier, you can take a shield, scotch tape, whatever you want, something like that, and just blend. This is a mascara that I'm going to review today. I can link that video up as well, because it's going to go up before this one. I will even take the fluffier brush and just go over it. I think I'm going to need an angle brush instead of the small detail one. I'm going to pick the same shade. Yeah, this is a little bit better. And you can build it up as much as you want. I do want it to look faded. And I feel like this kind of a liner is also a little bit easier to do than a liquid, classic liquid black liner. I'm just going to do like a half wing. You can bring it inwards if you like. My eyes are pretty close to my nose, so I do like this extended effect that a half liner can give me. I'm just going to apply some more on the bottom part, So it kind of starts more intense and then fades as it goes up. I hope I make sense. And I'm just going to fade the top part a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is take some more on the top of this brush, like on the pointy side, let's say. And I'm going to do a little bit of an inner corner wing. Just a tiny extension here. It doesn't have to be huge, it's just something to subtly switch up your eye shape. It really kind of extends, as you can see. I kept it so neutral on the eyes because I wanted to wear a bold lip. A bold lip always makes me feel somehow more powerful, and that's the vibe that I want to feel with this look somehow. I'm going to try and do kind of a red-ish lip, but not that kind of a bright red like I did in the Valentine's Day look, for example. I'll try to mix some stuff and hopefully I'll get the shade that I want. The truth is, I've seen a girl in the mall the other day wearing a similar, some kind of a muddy red, and I want to recreate that. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. I'm going to apply the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Universal Earth. I'm going to do a little bit of overlining, nothing too crazy. But if you do overline, because I do, I love overlining, make sure that your pencil is pigmented enough in order to hide your lip line. Although there are some lip shapes that you can't overline without it being obvious. And as an example here we have Rihanna. I mean, she doesn't need to overline, she has beautiful lips, but she has a very strong lip line somehow, and you can't fool that. My lip line is pretty soft, so I can get away with overlining a little bit. So like I said, I'm going to mix two lipstick shades, and by the way, I filled in the sides of the lip a little bit. So this will be kind of the main color. I'm going to mix this Sephora Collection Lip Stain 01, the perfect red. Okay, a little bit of that. I will put in a little bit of this nude from Maybelline. This is the Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Driver. It's the shade 55. And hopefully I can tone down the red a little bit. I'm going to use a lip brush. This one is from Sigma. And let's mix these and see what we can get. Okay, I think I need a little bit more of the Maybelline because the Sephora Collection is so pigmented. Kind of turns almost pink, but I think I like it. Let's just see how it applies. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, this is lovely. I wish it did not have that pinkish tone to it. I purposely applied this nude, which is kind of orangey, but I don't know. I think it's the pigment from the red lipstick that kind of turned a little bit more pink. I'm going to apply mascara off camera. I'm actually, like I said, I'm filming another video reviewing this little guy. If it's good, I'm not going to apply any false lashes, but we'll see about that. Okay, I applied the mascara and this is the finished look. I will not apply false lashes, I feel like this is enough. Hope you enjoyed today's look, and if you did, let me know, because I would love to hear. I really hope you enjoyed today's look and you found this video useful, of course. And if you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. That's it, see you next time. Bye!